Hello.
Chelsea sent us a question about relationships and how to practice right honesty in relationships, especially romantic ones. And I think it's a very good question, and as we are a couple, as well as right honesty trainers together, we will give you some ideas from our side and then one exercise that you can try at home.
Okay.
So, what's the benefit of right honesty in romantic relationships, in your opinion?
Well, certainly deeper connection with my partner, with you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially not withholding the things that I fear that you'll be upset hearing, be angry at hearing, be sad hearing. And I don't want to be alone with those kinds of thoughts. I want to share them with you.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that we've gone through this many times, but sharing things we don't want the other party to know, me sharing what I don't want you to know, that we have gotten each time, I'm pretty confident saying every time, gotten to a better place. And a wonderful, you said what the benefit of this, I think that you said, is that I have someone to practice with.
Mm-hmm.
I have you to practice with, you're willing to practice with me, and then it makes me expressing myself honestly and openly in a more vulnerable way much easier to do with other people.
Yeah, I agree with what you say, and for me, well, there is a lot of emotions, of course, that we as people have, and few like the key ones for me it's anger and sadness / also connected to shame, and appreciation and love. And what I've noticed is that we are pretty good at noticing when we're angry or when we have appreciation arising, and rather than just thinking that in our head, actually putting it out there and sharing it, and sharing even if we are a bit worried or nervous.
And that didn't come easy, at least not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was not very practiced in expressing appreciation, very well practiced in pushing down my anger and telling myself it's so small and petty or happened so long ago or it's no big deal or let it pass. And yet the anger was still there and I didn't know what to do with that. And now I've learned and have the experience of expressing it more and more in the moment and getting over it more and more in the moment.
Yeah, like I remember last night I got angry. I told you, you got angry, me being angry. We processed it somewhat, also recognizing we were tired and hungry, and then took some time this morning as well to talk about it from a more calm place, and noticing, at least for me, like even more what was happening in me in the moment, like really dropping down to a childlike level, feeling some shame coming up, and still being willing to express that and stay with that, as there is this trust I have with you that is kind of tricky for me.
Make sure my belly's not showing so much on the video.
Yeah, we want to be mindful of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's demonstrate one exercise. So this is something you can do with your romantic partner, but also with a friend or family member.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes like this. So who starts?
I assume you know that I love you.
I assume that you know that I want a lot of attention from you.
I assume you know that I'm not always perfect in your eyes.
I assume that you know that you're very important to me.
I assume you know that I love you even when I'm angry at you.
I assume that you know that I make it difficult for me when we are apart.
I assume you know that I want you to take care of me when I'm older.
I assume that you know that sometimes I get really tired of working and other things, and I just want you to take care of me.
I assume you know that oftentimes I don't want to work as much as you do.
I assume that you know that I make sticking to agreements, commitments extremely important, and I make them mean that it's about expressing love.
I assume that you will be part of my life tomorrow.
I assume that you will tell me if you're angry or upset, and I don't need to second guess.
I assume that you and I will continue sharing our finances as we are doing so today.
I assume that you know that in the next few years I want to take some time off just to be and relax and do trainings with you where we're participants. Okay, so this is what happens. You go back and forth. I assume you know, or I assume you.
I assume that you,
yeah.
Or assume you, or assume you know.
Yeah. And then after that, you have a conversation. Like things like, what was surprise to you? What did you know already?
Mm-hmm.
How was this for you, Pete?
Yeah, we've done this before, and I judge we're already pretty good at expressing ourselves. I'm not sure if I heard anything surprising
Yet.
Yeah. And though it's still, even though we've done the exercise, and even though we are pretty open about expressing what's on our mind, I judge it's still very beneficial exercise for us to clear the air instead of building up unexpressed assumptions of the other person.
Yeah, I found it quite powerful to say out loud, for example, how keeping commitments is important to me, and I make it about love and expressing love, and just allowing that to be there. It might be unreasonable, but it seemed true for me.
And for me to say aloud, I assume that you're going to take care of me when I'm older. Also a bit vulnerable and felt a little tightness in my belly, and yeah, I guess I do have that assumption, yet I don't really speak it out loud.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know where we're going to be years from now, and yet still I do have an assumption that you will take care of me.
So I like this exercise. I think it's easy and simple and still kind of powerful. And one thing about it is that while you switch turns, there's no questions, no commentary. Only if you really don't understand what they're saying, you can ask a question. But it's really about sharing. You notice your body, you notice your thoughts while you're sharing, while you're listening the other person share. But it's not debate or a conversation at that point. So later on, then you can have a conversation what came up for you. And if you get angry or something else, then express that. Or if you feel sad or surprised, that also, in my opinion, like increases the connection and intimacy. Okay, so this was our first video. Let's see if it technically works out. Feel free to send us questions, and we'll make more videos, either together or me alone, maybe sometimes even Pete alone. Let's see. No guarantees of that. Thanks for your question, Chelsea, and I look forward to hearing how was this video and this exercise for you. Ciao.
Bye bye.
Okay, we want to finish, and I'm not sure exactly how to do that.